Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, Fabulites. I ain't got no questions for you. Look, I barely got a recap review. I got a review. It was good enough of The Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 8, a host of issues. So if you want to hear my thoughts, please stick around. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You, and thank you for being here, liking, commenting, subscribing, and all those other wonderful, fabulous things. All right. So I didn't take notes during the episode. I just took some notes this morning because I got too much going on right now and I can't watch it again. So we gonna move forward. We gonna progress. We going forward. Okay. So I just got divided into people. So we got, I'm just going to, Robin. So Robin is seeing a therapist. She ain't seeing a therapist for her because she don't need a therapist. She don't need therapy. She's seeing a therapist for y'all, for us. Since we don't understand what's going on, she going to the therapist. But whatever it takes, Robin, girl, I'm just glad you're there. And she got an assignment from the therapist to go on 2 dates. So I think that is wonderful and exciting. And I hope that, I know sometimes we get caught in our stories and we want to believe certain things and we want them to be true. And, we want to, it's like, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. And, that's cool enough. But I hope that, you take your therapy seriously, even though, stuff is happening on TV. You may be feeling a little embarrassed, but your story ain't really working that good. It's not really a good cover story. So a better, you could save some of that energy that you're using to try to advance this jacked up cover story to make you look crazy and use some of that energy for your healing. And just, go on and heal, girl. Go on and be happy. Shoot. That's what we want. Everybody wants you to be happy. Now, sometimes they say people want you to be happy, so then once you're happy, they can tear you down. I just want you to be happy, boo. Be happy. Okay, so then we got Karen, Miss Hostess to the mostest, the only hostess of the Bermuda trip. They planning a trip to Bermuda, y'all. And I don't know what it was. Now, she did end up eventually letting it go, but Miss Karen seemed, Huger, she seemed very focused on being the hostess. She invited Charisse to help her to plan the event. But then when Charisse said she was co-hosting the event, or something, I don't even know what Charisse said, but whatever, Miss Karen felt that it was very important that she was the hostess. And then I think at the end, they ended up agreeing that one would host one day and one would host the other day. Charisse didn't really seem invested in it, but Karen seemed very invested. And Charisse said, I'm going to go on to Charisse, even though she's not number 3 on my list. But Charisse said at some point, and I was agreeing, for somebody who just sold a house, Miss Karen sold her house, or the Huger sold their house. It was a cash offer from China. We know that she didn't get the $2 billion gazillion that she wanted to get for the house. And whatever she got for it, if she was happy for it, if she liked it, I love it, and that's good. And cash offers are good. We like those too. I like cash. You like cash? I like cash. But Charisse said, for somebody who is, got to get out of their house because it's been sold to the Chinese, you got to find a new place to live. She sure has a lot of time to be worrying about this Bermuda trip and planning this Bermuda trip. And I agree 100%. Although, she could hang out in a hotel. She could travel. They could rent someplace month to month. It's probably not. The biggest thing is probably going to be packing up. But, there are professionals that do that. They'll come in and pack up your whole house. So, maybe that's her plan. She don't look like she spends a lot of money on, a lot of things. So maybe she spends money on services, and there's nothing wrong with that. So what else with Charisse? Charisse, at some point when they going back and forth, and Karen is like, well, you're my assistant. Charisse says she is not anybody's assistant. Y'all hear Bella growling? And Charisse shows up at as an uninvited guessed, and I think she's trying to be a mediator. Karen has put together this mediation between Giselle and Monique. And Cherise shows up, and I think she wants to be a mediator too, because she has a relationship with both of the women. And, you know, she says, it's not about you, it's about me. My life is so shitty now, I can't have y'all fighting too. So, you know, whatever. And she said, and Karen says that the mediation didn't work because Cherise made the mediation about Cherise. I think that the mediation didn't work because maybe, I don't know. Well, one, because I think if there is a real issue going on, they probably need not just like a friend to help them to mediate. They probably need someone with some mediation skills. Like, what's your issue? What's your issue? You know, there's a system for mediation. And you know, when something is deep seated, like Giselle's, my eyes are green because I eat a lot of broccoli. It don't have nothing to do with you and your man and his money. You know, her green-eyed issues, it seems like, you know, they seem deep-seated. So it seems like something that they might need some professional help with, because maybe she's mad at Monique, or the type of woman that Monique represents, but she might really be mad because, you know, as Monique suggested, perhaps, you know, Monique reminds Giselle of what Giselle used to have, or the hope that Giselle had when she was younger, you know, and married and, you know, building a home with someone and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Was there anything else with Cherise? Okay, yeah. So then I guess since I'm talking about, dang, I got all out of order. Okay, we already sang the Giselle song that I just played so long. Y'all, that used to be my favorite song. I know that ain't how Erykah Badu do it, because Erykah Badu be doing the do. But that song is so pretty to me. That little intro part there is gorgeous. Go listen to it. Erykah Badu is a green eye. What is it called? I don't even know what it's called. And she don't say it's because I eat a lot of broccoli. Because I eat a lot of vegetables. Does she say vegetables or broccoli? See, I eat a lot of broccoli and vegetables. Ooh, I love Brussels sprouts. You like Brussels sprouts? Let me stay focused. Okay, so Giselle. She says that she, you know, she didn't realize that. See, I don't understand. Giselle is trying to portray and advance this portrayal of Monique that does not seem to fit in with our experience of Monique, or at least my experience of Monique, or the way that Monique is being edited. She's trying to portray Monique as this, you know, unarticulate, ghetto, crazy woman. And that child seems like, you know, she might not have grown up wealthy. I don't know how she grew up, but she always seems very poised, and you know, she never really seems out of control. And I ain't heard her cuss nobody out. I'm not hearing anything that puts her in the category, and I don't even really know what the ghetto category is. But that woman is very poised and put together and is carrying herself beautifully. I'm just not buying your story, Miss Giselle. So she said that they have a language barrier. You know, usually when you have a language barrier, it's because I speak English, the Queen's English, and you speak French. But, you know, Giselle's language barrier with Monique is because Giselle speaks English and Monique speaks trick or hood or whatever she's trying to say. Yeah. Yeah, girl. I bet you, I hope that when you're watching it now, you wish that you had not. It's just not it's not attractive. It's not attractive at all. And it's becoming more unattractive as the season progresses. I keep hoping that there's going to be some turnaround, and I'm going, because I want, you know, I'm that person who I want to like everybody. I'm not the person who want to dislike. I want to like you, Giselle. I really do. It's just it's challenging right now. It's like, you know, I like you as a person in your heart and soul. I know you're a good person, but you are not looking very attractive to me right now. It's not looking. And then on the playback, you begging, give me your number. That child didn't say that on the playbook. She's on the playback. And I listened carefully because I'm like, did the girl demand the number? But she asked for her number. So I I'm not really clear. I don't think you're really clear, and it's not really cute. And I guess she was working out, her whole thing this episode, because she was not invited to Monique's party, and she didn't know she wasn't invited to Monique's party until after the fact, which is interesting because it seems like, oh yeah, are y'all going to the party? Because supposedly she and what's the child's name? Robin, our friends, they got little children, all their little children. Oh yeah, we going to a children's party. You want to ride together? It seemed like it would be a conversation, but she didn't know until after that she wasn't invited. But anyway, her whole thing is the main time we see her is at the mediation, and also when she's working out, because I think she might have said things aren't working out with that man, so she's gonna have to find her a man in Bermuda. I've been to Bermuda once, and the men seemed very nice. It seemed like one of those, when I was in Bermuda, I was there for maybe like 2 or 3 days. One of my friends from college is from Bermuda, so she recommended a hotel. It was a fabulous hotel. That was before I had ever seen branded water, before they had their own brand of water. I was able to get Spa Red water, which everybody who knows me knows that I love Spa Red. Red is the sparkling Spa. I think Spa Blue is the flat, but I like a sparkling water. And this guy took me around the island on his bike and gave me a tour. I think I ended up getting some good artwork, and he was one of the employees of the hotel, and it felt a little risky at first, but I trust my instincts more or less, although I was like, oh my God, am I gonna die? But I didn't end up dying. He was real cool and very collegial. But anyway, I was thinking that Bermuda is probably a good place, because sometimes that's maybe a stereotype to say that people on the islands can be a little backwards, so that maybe her sense of style, she seems like she's a little bit of time warped, so it might fit in good on the island. But I didn't notice them being that backwards in Bermuda from what I can remember. So maybe that's a bad theory. Okay, so let's keep it moving. So Giselle, you're going to meet you a man in Bermuda. That's going to, take the edge off, soften the edges. They'll give you an opportunity to sun the sand, to reflect, all of that. And Bermuda, isn't that the end of the show when they be having the trip? I know on Atlanta they had 2 or 3 trips, but I think they just gonna have 1 trip. So it's like the season is almost over. But I still have hope, Miss Giselle, that I'm gonna like you before I've decided. I just decided I like you. I like you, Giselle. Okay, so Monique, my mother is like, I like Monique. I'm glad her party went well. And I remember when I first started watching the Housewives, it seemed like everybody had these big extravagant parties, especially these children's parties. So she having a party. Oh, what's the budget? Her husband, are you in budget? Well, what's the budget? Her husband is like $20,000. She's like, oh yeah, I'm in the budget. I spent, she telling us in the green screen, I spent 25, and 30,000 is still within budget if you do a soft budget. I guess that means if you kind of focus on it like this, it's still within the budget. But anyway, it was very extravagant for a 1-year-old. But I guess when we have parties for children, we're having parties for ourselves. So it looked like a nice affair. And I guess if they can afford it and that's how they want to spend their money, is reasonable. I don't think that 1-year-old child is going to remember it. Yes, Monique, she's only going to be one once. And y'all will have great pictures probably. And the people who were there, I'm sure, had a great time. What else? She mentioned, we talked about that. When they in the mediation and Monique asked Giselle something, I think it's Monique asked Giselle something, and Giselle goes to talk. And then she's coughing. Bella is looking at me. Y'all can't see her. She off camera. She like, you all right? And then she starts coughing. Giselle is coughing and coughing and coughing. And it's like, what did Monique say? That she, in her green screen, she said, that was God ripping the lies from your throats, or from your throat. God just ripped the lies from Giselle's throat. She said she was choking on the lies. I thought that was funny. So we already talked about Charisse, and then there's just Ashley. She asked her husband, they go and they do playing, throwing pottery, making pots and stuff. And she asked her husband if, are we still in love? Do we love each other, or are we in love? I don't even be understanding them types of questions. But what I did understand is when, The man is like, I want to reevaluate the whole baby making thing, and maybe instead of waiting for the restaurant to break even, we could get you barefoot and pregnant now. Miss Ashley is like, I'm not really in the baby making mood with your ass right about now. So I ain't feeling loosey goosey. I'm feeling dry as hell when it comes to you. So yeah, I hope she's stacking up her money or whatever. I feel like I saw somebody write some comment someplace like, he can't get no young white woman. That man is relatively wealthy. It don't take that much wealth to get men can always get women, just like women to me can always get men. But anyway, that's what I got. That was the Real Housewives of Potomac. It was a good, some good enough entertainment for a Sunday evening, and I'll give it a score of 7. I don't know. I'm not mad. I watched it. It was entertaining. It's good to gossip, I guess, and comment on people's lives that I don't know, and it's like a gestalt of commentation on these people's lives. All of us in the world are commenting, or not, but in our little world, we're commenting, hey fella, we commenting about these people's lives. So but it's really our comment on our commentary on our own life, right? It's what we need to tell ourselves, what we need to do, and how we can make ourselves even more fabulous than we already are. And that's what I want you to do today. I want you to, today and always, be you, be fabulous, you. Mwah.